My personal focus has always been to create assets or businesses that are potentially sellable. And we've actually sold a few of our businesses in the past and a ton of real estate. I think for many people, buying a business, buying a large piece of real estate, buying a cash flowing property might be the fastest path to financial freedom because a lot of that early legwork has already been done. Hopefully the business has proven the idea. It's got a good or great product. It's got some good processes in place. It's got some good people in place. Now you can come in and just accelerate the growth. You can increase the value and just like in real estate, force the appreciation. So I want to talk to you today about my 3-step formula for buying businesses. Find, analyze, and fund. So first you have to find a business or an asset to purchase. And I'm going to give you some great resources to help you locate these opportunities. Then you're going to need to analyze the deal to make sure you're getting a fair price. And finally, you're going to have to fund it. I think most people think they need to come up with all the money themselves, but that's just not true. In many cases, the seller is going to finance a portion of the purchase, and sometimes they even prefer that, like to spread the taxes out over multiple years. So let's get into find first. So that's step 1. When it comes to finding businesses and assets, there are some really incredible online resources. So bizbuysell.com. This is an incredible website for finding businesses that are for sale. You're going to see everything from small coffee shops to large established companies, literally in every niche. There's thousands of listings all over the country, and the site's search feature lets you look by location, industry, and price range, which makes it super easy to narrow down and see exactly what you're interested in. And it just is great for ideation too. And then we have LoopNet and CoStar. So if we're focused on commercial real estate, if that's an attractive idea for us, then these are the places you want to go. Because these platforms have a super wide selection of commercial properties, everything from office to retail to apartments to warehouse to land. And again, we can filter by location and asset type to find what is going to fit our goals the best. And we have franchisegator.com. This one's for those of you interested in buying into an established brand through a franchise. This lists hundreds of franchise opportunities across different industries. You're going to get an idea of all the upfront costs, the ongoing fees from fast food to cleaning. And we have flippa.com. So if online business or digital assets may be your thing, then Flippa is going to be an incredible resource. You're going to find websites, apps, blogs, even online stores for sale. So this is perfect if you're looking to buy something in the digital space. And you can use realtor.com and zillow.com for residential real estate, whether that's single family homes or smaller investment properties that are actually on the market. And these are really easy to use, very detailed, and they cover listings nationwide. So they're great starting points if we're looking to actually get going and invest in real estate. And if raw land or unique property types are part of your vision, for me, absolutely. Landwatch.com is an incredible resource. We can look at listings for everything from farmland to hunting land to resort property to ranches and even remote acreage. So it's great for anyone interested in land development or unconventional real estate. And patents.google.com is great for intellectual property, particularly patents. So it's a solid free resource to browse existing patents. And if you're interested in a specific technology or concept, there's really an easy way to see what's out there and potentially identify some acquisition opportunities. And we have SBA.gov. And yes, the Small Business Administration has a site that lists different businesses for sale and resources to connect with lenders and brokers. It also talks about the loans which are accessible directly from here. And for discount or distressed real estate, foreclosure.com is a powerful tool. You're going to find foreclosed homes and even commercial properties, which can sometimes be bought at a discount and turned into profitable assets. You can also check out auction.com. And even if you're really interested in foreclosures, you may even want to buy before they go to auction. So look at your local county websites and figure out how that foreclosure process works. And last but not least is leadflow.com or realflow.com. These are our companies. And if you're looking specifically in real estate and finding properties before they hit the market, before they go into foreclosure, before they're sold or listed with anyone else, then you're going to want to look at leadflow.com. We provide super targeted lists and property data that's going to give an investor an edge, a head start on everyone else. You're going to be able to find unique properties. You're going to be able to connect directly with motivated sellers. And more importantly, you should definitely check out the sellability score. This is where we've used AI to measure propensity to sell on almost every property in America. So we can predict with a reasonable degree of certainty which properties are going to actually go on the market in the next 90 days. And then you, as the investor, can simply reach out and see if someone's interested in selling and sort of start that conversation. It's a great way to find highly motivated and discounted properties. And then step 2 is analyze. So we want to make sure we're getting a fair price. I think one of the most important things you can do as a potential buyer of a business or asset is just do a little bit of research. Go on Google and see what similar businesses are selling for. It's probably going to be a multiple of EBITDA or a multiple of revenue. Or you can just go to online tools like ChatGPT and you can engage chat in a conversation about this potential business, because businesses could sell for different prices in different parts of the country. But here's a few general examples. So if we have like a service type business, these are typically valued at 2 to 3 times EBITDA. So let's say you have a small landscaping company with an EBITDA of 100 grand, you're probably looking at a purchase price between $200,000 and $300,000. If you have an e-commerce company, these can vary a lot more, but you're going to be looking at an EBITDA of 3 to 5x. So if an online retail store has a net profit of $150,000, it could be valued between $450,000 and $750,000. And real estate holdings are pretty unique. These are often, valued based on the rental income. So a property generating $100,000 net income could sell anywhere from 10x to 15x net income. It really depends on the area and the property type. And if you have a technology or software company, especially software as a service, these types of businesses are valued based on a multiple of revenue. So you take the total annual revenue and then you're going to times that by 4, 5, 6, 7x. With some other companies, you could get pretty seriously in the 10, 20, 30x range. So these are companies that are growing very quickly with high retention and are serving a definite need in the market. And then step 3, we have fund. So I think this is super important to find the right way to fund the deal. I think most people think they need to bring in all the money themselves, and that can be a big hurdle. That's gonna put up the stop sign like right away. But let me tell you that there are options. So first up is OPM, other people's money. So this could mean a seller finance deal where the seller agrees to carry all or part of the purchase price. We're actually working on buying a company right now where the sellers are financing the entire thing to us over the next 8 years. And this happens all the time. And in some cases, the seller actually prefers this method because they spread out their taxes, their capital gains tax, over several years rather than paying a big hit like right now all at once. And we have SBA financing. The Small Business Administration can actually give a loan for up to 90% of a business's purchase price. So if you're buying a business, let's say at $1 million, the SBA could cover $900,000. And you only need to come up with that remaining 10%, which could even really be financed by the seller in many cases. And finally, if traditional banks are in your plan, then there's banks like Live Oak Bank and Wells Fargo that really specialize in working with entrepreneurs and small business loans, including these loans for acquisition. So that's the find, analyze, and fund method for buying a business. And I think this formula, this idea keeps it simple. You're gonna wanna use the resources, you're gonna wanna do your homework, and don't be afraid to get creative with financing. Just think outside the box. Buying a business is gonna be one of the fastest, easiest ways to financial freedom. And with the right strategies, it's really more accessible than most people think.